No, Black Feniks checking in. Right now, I just wanted to come to you early this morning and talk about I jumped off the porch early. So I'm in front of my mom's house right now. It's actually a nice morning. It isn't muggy yet, in the south when it started getting hot. The morning started to be, real muggy, but this morning it's pretty nice out here. And I was just thinking about a conversation that I had with a classmate of mine, and I was talking about um, jumping off the porch early. And fam, to be honest with you, I think about the age range was probably around between 11, 12, 11, 12, yeah, 11, 12, something like that. 13, I was out there. So it was like a lamp between, 10 to 12, man. I jumped off real early, but I was doing things, earlier than that as far as, being around some older guys, and or being around a couple of my peers. Shout out to the Mills brothers. Shout out to Romaine and his brother. Um, when I was staying in Arkansas City, I was young, and they was coming from Chicago, and I was actually coming in from Denver. And so, we were both kind of, city people. We get down there in the country, man, and we found something to get into. You know what I mean? Like we found something to get into. I remember one time we stole some of those scooters. You remember those scooters that you had to like paddle to get started, and then they'll ride down? We stole a couple of them. Couldn't figure out how to crank them up, so we pushed them all the way from one side of town to another side of town, and we put them in this abandoned building at this park. It was like a old barn or something behind this park in Arkansas City. So we put these scooters in there. You know what I mean? The stuff we did, man, we was young, man. We stayed into something though. But shout out to them, man. I hope those brothers doing good. But I just want to talk about jumping off the porch early, man. Now I'm 42 years old, and I literally chill like I'm 62 years old. You know what I mean? Like I really chill like that. Like, I have seen some things and experienced some things in life. And you know what? I made a statement this morning saying that wisdom doesn't come from growing old. It comes from growing old and applying the knowledge you have learned. See, if you just grow old, fam, and you don't apply none of the knowledge you have learned, you don't apply none of the information that you went through, you don't add it to your life where you can actually see a difference, then you're just growing old, fam. I know a lot of old men and old women who stuck in their ways and never progressed in it because, you know, they just grow old and they were stuck to, one belief. And that's why I blog and talk the way I do, because I realized I jumped off the porch real early, and now, I step back, I'm chill, you know what I mean? I don't hang with a big crowd, and part of the reason why, you know what I mean, I don't trust a lot of people. I done been in some situations where the people that I would have trusted showed me when it was time for war, so to speak. It wasn't a lot of us left. Maybe we start off with 100 people. Was a handful of us left waiting, like, where everybody at? And rest in love to my homies, rest in love to the fallen. And I still have, homies that still incarcerated, man. Shout out, free my homie Octavius Stowball from Dumas, man. Hopefully he'll be coming home soon. We call him Ott Stowball, man. That's my guy, man, from Dumas, Arkansas, man. Me and dude grew up, man. You know what I mean? I was telling someone, man, a lot of my good associates now, they are even dead or still incarcerated, fam. Still incarcerated. So, I have to be thankful, man, that I jumped off the porch early enough to be at my age now where I'm like chilling, where I'm really like just working on critiquing who I am and working on business ventures and different ways to improve me, and and spend time with my family and my grandkids, you know what I mean? to have grandkids, fam. Like, I ain't gonna lie, fam. I have to sit back and think about it because, man, it just blows my mind. You know what I mean? Because I was blessed. You know what I mean? Like, my daughter, when I got out of prison, fam, my daughter was 10 years old, going on 11. But I was able to be here and hold my grandbaby though. I'm able to watch her grow up. I wasn't able to watch my daughter grow up at that age, but I'm able to do things for my grandbaby. And to me, you know, sometimes it happens like that. You know, a generation of skip and you'll learn something to be able to affect the next generation, man. That's why, you know, I feel jumping off the porch early, man, you know, for some of us is a great benefit, you know what I mean? Because we learn a lot, fam, and we can be able to pass back. And I'm gonna be honest with you, you know, I was thinking like my daughter is 24, going on 25 in July, and I can literally say that she got a lot more wisdom, you know, knowledge than I did at that same age, due to the fact that, you know, there's more information that was out, you know, with the internet, and also she was able to watch me personally, so she gained some hands-on experience, you know what I mean, that she wouldn't have got from nowhere else. So, you know what I'm saying, just watching us survive and maintain, and, you know, and me making decisions to make sure that me and her was good, you know what I mean, because it was just me and her, you know what I mean. I used to tell my daughter, I said, I don't need no woman, I got you in my house. So it was just me and my daughter for a minute, man, you know what I mean. We did, you know, we stayed, had our own little deal, man, and it was good. You know what I mean? It was good at that moment because it taught me something. You know what I mean? Like, I got in a situation where, you know, just learning life, even with relationships, where I was fully dependent on, you know, I'm helping a woman, but I had fully put my trust in a woman, kind of like Samson and Delilah. I put my trust in the wrong woman, and I laid my guard down, and it put me in a bind where I had to figure out something between me and my daughter. So I always said I'd never get in a situation where I have to solely depend on anybody. And it wasn't that I was solely dependent on her, but um, it was her things. You know what I mean? I'm paying bills, but, you know, her name was on it, not mine. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, you know what I mean, I had to move. You know, me and my daughter did. So, you know, after experiencing something like that, I said, man, I got to always have my own. You know what I mean? Or at least make sure that me out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, you know, jumping off the porch early, fam, you know, there's a lot of great benefits as far as, you know, us sharing some of our experiences with our kids. And, you know, that's why, you know, my oldest daughter is kind of like a mother to my, you know, my middle daughter and my son, because, you know, my middle daughter is 15 and then my son is 11, you know. So, or 10, about to be 11, and then she's turning 16 this year. So, you know, she's like 10 years older than them, you know what I mean? And she was able to help me with them, honestly. You know what I mean? She helped my daughter walk. You know, I remember not even knowing she could walk. You know what I mean? Like, one day watching TV and seeing my little daughter walking, she was so young. I think she started walking like, man, Amara started walking like 7, 8 months. Like, my daughter started walking early. Like, she was very smart. Um, my dog is out here running around, so I'm trying to keep my eye on him while I'm talking to y'all this morning. All right, get back over here. So she's having a field day right now because it's early and ain't nobody out. You know what I mean? As soon as she see a car or something come, she'll get paranoid and want to go in the house. But anyways, fam, I was just thinking about that, jumping off the porch early, man. So much I learned, you know. Even with dealing with relationships now, we as a man, you know, we go through. I think we go through different stages of what we seen. Some people seen, like, I seen bad examples from my father. You know what I mean? That made me not be controlling in a relationship, like, and not try to force someone to love me, or you know, or put my hands on somebody. Like, you know, my greatest example from my father, if I learned anything from him, I learned what not to do. And that was, you know, my mom used to always say, son, don't ever put your hands on nobody, you know, especially no woman, unless she put her hands on you. Now, don't be no damn fool. You know what I'm saying? And my mom used to say, now, don't let nobody beat you up now. You know what I'm saying? But you can't make nobody love you. You know what I mean? You can't or vice versa. Some guys get caught up and they'll beat their woman because they got caught up, and that's how it was growing in the South. Like I mean, I witnessed my aunts, get beat by men. I had an aunt, rest in love, my aunt Bobby. She had so much abuse. I remember her having an open heart surgery. You know what I mean? And I know that guy had something to do with it. And he ended up passing before her. And to me, I felt like that was karma just because of the way he treated her. You know what I mean? And I remember it blowing my mind because she did all this time, with him when he got incarcerated, went through all this BS with him when he was free, getting beat and still, just going through. When he have a bad day, she had a worse day. You know what I'm saying? And he get out of prison, man, and change his life. You know what I mean? And get a job. And no, he did. Left my auntie and got him a new woman. Like literally, she done been through everything. He gonna get, and I ain't gonna lie, the lady he got was pretty. He got him a nice lady. You know what I mean? But I'm like, man, you gonna leave somebody that you beat on? You made her look like this. You beat her. You know what I'm saying? And now when she look a certain way, and you say, you know what, I want to upgrade this, and gonna leave her, man. So I knew God didn't like ugly, man, and he didn't live long after that. And to me, honestly, fam, I felt like that was karma. You know what I mean? After doing my aunt like that, you know what I mean? Certain things you just don't do. You know what I mean? You don't do nobody like you don't do nobody like that. You know what I mean? But jumping off the porch early, fam, I seen a lot. I seen a lot in my, growing up. I was it was brought to my attention talking to my aunt maybe a week or so ago that she was telling me about some things that my mom endured and things that she did with my dad. Like she told me she was with my mom one time where she literally drove down and took my dad down to be with another woman just to be at peace. Like she took him down there, dropped him off at the woman's house, let him get his things out the car, and she was like going down there. She was thinking that it was over. She was wanting to end life. She felt it was too much. Having to go through this type of thing. But once she got there and seen his condition, and my aunt being there as a witness, it realized that she had more to live for. She had, me and my sister. She was like, I'm not finna let no man, throw me off my square and make me want to, hurt him or myself. You know what I mean? But like I said, we learn things about our history and about our parents and about what they went through that, as we grow older, it helps us out. It helps us realize why they went through what they went through, or why my mom made the decision she did. You know what I mean? And now, all I can do now is really, really, sit there and understand, when she says certain things to me now, I get it. You know what I mean? But like I say, man, we can't point no fingers. We can't just stay in the past, fam. And that's why, I think that the past is like a rearview mirror on a car. You know what I mean? We look back every now and then to make sure before we switch a lane to make sure there's no behind us. But majority of the time we focus on that wood, on that windshield. You know what I mean? The bigger picture. So, but we have to look back sometimes, fam. So it's good to remember where we come from. It's good to, you know, um, look at your progress. You know what I mean? Remember that that you survived something, fam. You know what I mean? And that's why jumping off the porch early. I think that it helps me now. You know what I mean? I don't run with a crowd. You know what I mean? I hang. I talk to people here and there, but I don't have like to be honest, no best friends that I hang out with every day, or we chop it up or call one another, make sure we good every day. Now, I had some people like that. They did, and a couple of them burnt me. So it is what it is. And now I got I have some friends that I talk to now. That we have more of a communication now, you know what I mean, than anything. But a lot of my friends that I grew up with, that I'm cool with, or that I talk to, or that I'm more closer with, and a lot of my female friends, and we ain't even on no type of level like that. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, man. You just, I don't know. Sometimes a woman, especially coming from where we from, can be able to really mature fast. I didn't understand that when growing up, that women mature fast as a man, but a lot of women do mature fast as a man. You know what I mean? Like on a lot of different levels. And some things that I learned about some of my homeboys and relatives growing up, man, different things they did, man. I sit back, man, I talk to the women of my family, you know what I mean? Even to this day, I'm closer, more closer than, to the women of my family. I talk to them more, like we call and check on one another and send one another texts and, emojis, just checking on one another, letting one another know that we love them, you know what I mean? Just because, they going through, they deals trying to be happy, with their man or trying to find peace, you know what I mean? So I like to share my, advice with them or talk to them, when they ask me for some advice. But, I really think that growing up, man, in a rural area, fam, it really makes you appreciate a lot of things, like, especially like leaving here. I can tell the people that never left here because their mentalities are like, it's insane. You know what? It's insane to me now that I get it. If a person had never left a rural area like where I'm at, their mind I never like really see like doing big things or going bigger places because they can't see the possibility, of it happening or, they down here, man, it's almost like, people are used to getting handouts, so to speak, used to being told what to do. Well, is the preacher gonna tell me what to do? Is the government gonna show us what the way? Like they don't being independent. Like if you being independent, fam, they gonna look at you like you crazy. What? So who told you can do that? I had somebody tell me that before. So who told you can do this? I said, I woke up and said I could do this, and I figured out a way to do it. You know what I mean? Like there's more. One thing I can say, man, about Trump. Trump said, "Don't get mad at me that I figured out the loopholes that was created by the system, designed by the system for us to use." Now, you mad at me that I'm using them? You might need to learn what the loopholes is. You know what I mean? So he gave us the game. He's telling you what it is. You got to figure it out. And the crazy thing is, us as black natives, I like to call us black natives. I don't like to say African Americans because all people originated from Africa. So if you come here from America, anyone is an African American. You know what I'm saying? We're black natives, fam, in my personal opinion. And I feel like, man, it wasn't set up. It was never set up for us to win. People like to give kudos to Abraham Lincoln. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I don't knock his accomplishments as a person, what he did, but he also did some things I don't feel like we should just be, hip hopping or ran behind because, he let it be known. If I could save the Union without freeing the slaves, I would. And if it takes me freeing the slaves to save the Union, that's what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? It's all about we gotta save this state and we're gonna figure out a way to write it up where, we're gonna still be protected. That's why in the Constitution we're still, African Americans, so to speak, are, considered as property and not as people. When did you know that? Those are facts, fam. That hasn't been changed yet. So while we trying to do all these marching and stuff like that, we need to work on that. You know what I mean? But like I say, man, a lot of this stuff, man, information you get, like I say, over time, and especially me anyway, just from jumping off the porch early, fam. Being able to hit my head and bruise my elbow and get some scars and say, you know what, that right there don't work. You know what I mean? I threw up a poll the other day talking about if we could go back, us being in our 40s plus, and we could talk to our 20-year-old self, could we warn them about, the troubles up ahead? Like, hey, bro, you gonna hit some stuff in your 30s. Hey, you need to do this here now. You need to change this here because this here, you know what I mean? And you wonder, like, is he gonna pay attention to me? Is he gonna listen to me? You know what I mean? And, at certain things, I think to myself, like, oh yeah, I would have listened to that. And then certain things, I know how I am, even to this day, certain things that I have to say, I have to experience it. I'm like, nah, I think this can happen, and a lot of times if I go with my gut, because now, I'm used to going with my gut now, I go with it more where I'm like, if I feel like, yeah, this can happen, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I feel it can happen, so I'm going to stick to it, you know what I mean? But if I get a feeling like, nah, man, we need to go left instead of right on this trip, and sometimes, I tend to go with it more now, but just growing up, man, in this rural area, made me a lot more cautious now when dealing with people, you know. And, you know, surviving that time because, you know, now I really get it now. You know what I mean? Like that PTSD that soldiers go through. You know, it has also been written and proven that inmates go through it too. You know what I mean? That have the same thing, and I can't even lie, fam. The more I think about it, I think I really got PTSD. Like because certain things, fam. Like for me being incarcerated, fam. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. People, anyone, you can't talk to me like certain things you just can't say to me. I don't know. It's like almost like a switch. Like I just I just wig out, you know what I mean? And then later I come back like, you know, it's like certain things that just, and I work on it like I recognize it more and more now than I did, you know, 10 years ago, so to speak. So now, you know, I recognize it, but yeah, you know, that's why I tend to be by myself because, you know, in there I witnessed a lot of traumas, you know what I mean? Like I literally had to fight to prove that I was a boy. You know, when you born and you say, oh, you got a boy child, you know, and then you growing up, but nah. And there you go, yeah, we know what your mama told you. And we know when you pee, you standing up when you peeing. But you might have a man come to you in the prison, might say, hey man, I don't think you should stand up when you pee. I think you should sit down. What you gonna do? You gonna fight or sit down? You know, and some people, literally, I have seen them. Okay, damn, like I seen it, fam. You know, it's funny because I literally seen it. Like some dudes, you know, you would think that was killers, like had murder charges, rape folks, and get in there and they just lose all hard because you ain't got, you know, the access to things you do out here. You know what I mean? So I done seen people literally get in there, man, and be tough guys, family, and they ain't tough in there. And you know, the killers in there with guns, they ain't killers in there. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna tell you. And there be some of the guys you think that you see quiet and reading books and staying to themselves. Them the ones you need to stay out, you know. Them the ones that are wig out, man, that I just seen do some terrible things, terrific things, you know, and they're the people, you know, and people because they, you know, tried to step on them. So, you know, like I say, man, jumping off the porch early, fam, gave me the opportunity to see that in prison, man. From 16 to 26, fam, it was a mess. It was a mess, fam. You know what I mean? And I can't lie to you, for the first 3 years, 2 years for sure, I acted damn fool, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I was like, I had to do a decade. So I'm like, you know, and it was dog eat dog in there. So I'm like, man, I had to stand on my ground, man. I had to stand on my six in there for real. You know what I'm saying? Because it was serious in there, man. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that I survived that now. And now I know that's why I am, how I step back and I watch certain people because, you know, I done had to fight to prove who I am. You know what I mean? I done fought butt naked in the shower, protect my manhood. I'm taking a shower with some homies and one of them see something, we had to fight right then. I'm talking about we went to war right then. Everybody butt naked in the shower. Some guys be like, I gotta put some clothes on. Now you ain't got time to put clothes on when a war jump off. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, fam. You know what I mean? And I done been there, fam. You know what I mean? I done been in some messed up situations, man. I done seen some stuff, man, that I don't even want to remember. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, but I'm glad because jumping off the porch early, once again, man, it gave me some information now that, you know, when I see the youngsters walk by, you know what I mean? You know, I talk to them and I like to give them some guidance, you know what I mean, when I can. And when they, hey, man, what's up? I like to give them something, man, you know, because, you know, I didn't have that. Like I was looking for it. Like I was looking for some OGs to guide me, and they could only give me what they had. You know what I mean? They could only give me that dope sack. They could only, you know, give me that blue flag. You know what I mean? They can only give me certain things. They couldn't, you know, the things that I needed, I couldn't get from them, like the father role, like what really, you know. But they did try to say, hey man, leave them guns alone. Don't try to rob nobody. You know, they want to, you know, do some drugs. Don't rob. You know what I'm saying? It's still wrong. They said, nah, sell drugs. Don't rob. You know what I'm saying? They said, you know, pimp women. Don't rape them. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just crazy. But that was their logic. You know what I'm saying? Be a player. Don't be a simp. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, we grow up and we think one thing is the way to be, man, and then we experience a different way. And all we can do is just like, wow, you know, like now, you know, being 42 years old, fam, and thinking of things I survived, fam, it's like, I can literally say today, though, I can say this, you know, the person you see right now is the best version of who I am, the best version of who I have being up to this point in life. You know what I mean? I felt like everything I went through got me here, and I'm still working on myself to get better. But right now, I'm the best version of me. You know what I'm saying? Because of the things I survived, and then I'm conscious of it now. Like I'm really like I'm really in tune with who I am and what I got to do. You know what I mean? I know what makes me happy, what makes me, you know what I mean? Like I know me, you know what I mean? And now it's just all about just working on things, getting better over time. That's what it's all about, fam. It's gonna take time. Everything we do is gonna take time. It's a process. I don't know why we want things to happen overnight, fam, but it's not gonna happen overnight. It's gonna take a process. But the cool thing is, as long as you work on it, you're gonna get better, fam. You're gonna get better. Like, as long as you work on it, you're going to get better. And today, fam, to be realistic with you, man, I'm going to share a blessing with you. And this blessing hit me, literally like, it really hit me this morning. Like, I've been thinking about it, but like, it really, how certain things will happen in your life, and then you finally like think about it, and you be like, wow, you know what I mean? This morning, fam, it might not be much, fam. You know what I mean? It might not be much. It ain't much what I got. I ain't got a whole lot. You know what I mean? But everything that I have, from being blessed with my mom's house, my vehicle, my tools, you know what I mean? My dog. Everything I have up to this point, which is not a lot. But you know what? I own it. Like, own it. I ain't got no mortgage payment. I ain't paying nobody no nothing, no rent, no nothing. I mean, I own it. Like, I completely own it. I'm 42 years old, and I can say everything that I touch at this moment, I own. And it's a blessing. Might not be a lot, but I own it, though. You know what I mean? And it took me a lot to get to this point. And some people that get to this point and be like, oh, I'm going to kick my foot up. But nah, fam, I'm not finished. Honestly, it's a lot I want to do. But I had to sit back this morning and just stop and say, Feniks, think about what you have accomplished, man. Think about what you did. I could have used the money with renovating my mom's house, and I've been still working on. I could have used that money and kept traveling and bought me a new truck. Literally, could have bought me a new truck. I thought about it. But I said, you know what? I'm going to do something righteous, man. I want to make sure I own. That's what it's about. It's about ownership, fam. And if I could give you any game from jumping off the porch early, it's about ownership. Own. You want to own everything. What you lay your head, how you make your money. I would say this. The concept is, if you're going to do anything, rent where you lay your head and own how you make your money. And once you own how you make your money, then own where you lay your head. That's the goal. You see what I'm saying? But we have to start from somewhere. We just can't jump off the porch and just think that you is going to start without going through some proper steps. You see what I'm saying? Because there are proper steps we have to take, fam. Hold up for a second. I'm going to make sure I lock that in. So it's all proper steps we have to take, man. But I can't say this, man. This morning I was thinking about how blessed, God has blessed me. My mom has blessed me. And like I say, it's not a lot, fam, but it's mine. You know what I mean? And I'm not stuck at the point of thinking that, oh, this is all I got. Because I want to get more than this. I want to keep going. Like, I'm cool with walking away from this and giving it to somebody else, you know what I'm saying? And going and build something else, because one thing I learned from jumping off the porch, if I did it once, fam, I can do it again. If you did it once, you can do it again, fam. You know what I mean? So don't get caught up in thinking that, you get to a certain level and things happen and you're like, what I'm gonna do? Rebuild. Tornadoes happen. Storms come in life. We go through them sometimes. And everybody don't make it, everybody don't make it all shiny, on the outside of the storm. Sometimes, you might be a little dust and dirty. You might have some things that's wrong with you, you know what I mean? But the main thing is be willing to rebuild. Be willing to rebuild, fam. So if I could give anyone any game, man, count your blessings. Apply everything you learn. And never be afraid to start over, fam. Stuff happens. And be willing to do whatever it takes. Because one thing for sure, the only limitations you got in life are the ones you set on yourself, fam. HogOn, man, y'all be blessed.